about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and here he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skill by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden Barrett and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello, viewers out there. You're welcome to Sports Orbit, with you from Leadership TV. My name is Afacho. Salifu Usman is here with me. Salifu, welcome to Sports Orbit, midweek edition.
Good afternoon, Afa. It's always my pleasure.
Right, on today's edition, we'll begin straight from the Super Falcons tour of the US, where that second match of that game played yesterday also ended in yet another defeat for the Super Falcons. Just that this time around, the deficit was not as much as it was in the first leg. And with that, now the Super Falcons have flown out of the USA after the 2-match tour in which they lost the second match narrowly to the USWNT national team. Mexico-based forward Uchenna Kanu became the first Nigerian to score against the US in 20 years when she slotted into the net in the 50th minute for the equalizer in the two teams' second encounter at the Audi Field in Washington. An own goal by defender Oluwatosin Gemehin in the 25th minute had put Nigeria behind in the game just minutes after goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie made a double save from the attackers. The Falcons will take on the senior women's national team of Japan in a prestige international friendly match at the Novair Stadium, Kobe, on Thursday, 6 October. The date falls within one of the FIFA Women's International windows for the year, which is the alias of the FIFA window of the year. That's in October 6. The women's national team of Japan are rated 13 in the world. Both teams have clashed only once at competitive level at the 2004 Olympic women's football tournament, where Japan won 1-0 in that one. So for the Super Falcons, not a scandalous performance like it was in the first leg, but still didn't get the victory. As well, for some of us, we didn't expect them to win the US women national team, even in the second match of that encounter, because knowing the pedigree of the USA when it comes to female football, and actually they were playing the match on their own soil, you expect that the US national team will have an edge over the Falcons.
Well, even it's a friendly match, even though the US are playing at their home soil, the Super Falcons will, I think, improve performance in the second match.
Yeah.
But even as we, it's still not satisfactory. Playing two-legged within a space of 5 days, and you lost only two matches to the US. No doubt about the US is one of they are the best. They are the best women team. They are the best women team in the world.
Yeah.
But in the friendly match, where Super Falcons are no longer a minor in the game of women football. They have been there for years, being dominating African, winning African championship for 9 times, and be at every edition of the FIFA World Cup. So we are always regular present at the world stage. We expected that we should also compete among the world best, and most importantly, that Nigerian government have invested a lot in terms of equipping the technical department of the team by going all the way from Nigeria all the way beyond to go to the far away in South America to bring a coach, hoping that the coach will be able to have a positive impact on the team. But yet we are yet to see that, and we expected that coming from America as a coach, we also know the nitty-gritties and how the US will play. And if you understand how a coach from America, you understand how US play. We expect that, and we are taking a team to go and play the same thing. You should also know how to approach the match and be able to get a better result, not to allow you to be beaten twice. Beaten for the first one was too unacceptable, but even the second one, 2-1, one was improved performance, but it's still not satisfactory. But one thing let me just say, it's an accommodated Nigeria Football Federations for organizing this friendly, quality-friendly matches. You can see, and I think Randy Wondru and his technical crew should be able to make something out of these quality-friendly matches. The essence of it is not about winning, but it should be able to give us an idea of how the team is going to look like when you went to the World Cup. The essence of all those friendly matches is to prepare you and put your stage and head and to know how you are going to approach the World Cup, because it's the same team you are going to play at the World Cup. And even the Japan that are also playing the team, they are also playing the team for the advantage that they have been likely going to play South Africa in their group. That's why all those teams is being organized, and we should take advantage of this team. And yes, sometimes one might say that if you are winning those matches, that would appear okay, we have arrived.
Yeah.
For example, in the case of our basketball team, when the basketball team prior to Tokyo Olympic went to the US and beat the US team, everybody celebrated that, and hoping that having beaten and also beat Australia, Argentina in the friendly match before the Olympic. We're hoping that they are going to excel at the Olympic, but at the Olympic they fall flat. They couldn't even win a single match. But yes, we also believe that even as much as we don't want Super Falcons to be dominated those matches, but at least they should put on something improved performance to give Nigeria an idea that this team can do something well at the Olympic. And I hope that the next match against Japan should give us an idea of what Super Falcons is going to look like
in the World Cup.
Yeah.
All right, now to some football development, where Sports Minister Sunday Jerry has called on more private participation in the ownership and development of football clubs in the country. He made the call in his office while presenting the 10-year football master plan to the Nigerian Women Football League club owners on Monday in Abuja. He stated that the involvement of private individuals and companies in the game of football, which is greatly loved by Nigerians through the ownership of clubs, was the spice needed to develop the game and enable it to flourish in the country. I mean, there's no point begging private organizations to invest in football, because the truth is, once the environment is conducive, you have an enabling environment, a private organization or corporate entity knows that if I put my money in this, there'll be a full return on investment. You don't even have to beg them. They will actually be the ones falling over themselves to ensure that they are part of it. We can take examples from other clients where we see the huge amount of money private organizations sign just to have their name on the jerseys of some of these top teams, falling over themselves every year. Some even come, most times it's always like a bidding process. Sometimes it goes to the highest bidder because they know the value. But here we've gone to a situation where we have to start begging them. You don't have to beg them. If you put your house in order, these people naturally will gravitate towards you.
I agree with you. It's just like a beautiful bride that is not. If you're a beautiful bride, all men will fall on you. If you're a beautiful bride with one quality character, so men, there's no you coming outside to look for or begging for a man to come and marry you. A whole lot of men from all walks and will fall on you, seeking for your trying to toast you and to get you on their side to marry you. So, and when you are not doing the right things, and when you are not having the right environment, you are not having the enabling environment, that is when we begin to hear, I beg, please come. I beg, please come. Sometimes when I will say, even talking about in Nigerian society, when the Nigerian president will talk and say, I will all the foreign investor to come in. You don't need to ask for an investor to come in. If the environment is right and everything is right, the foreign investors are the one coming looking for space.
Exactly.
Please, can I have a space? Yeah. They're the one falling to looking for space. I just like I said, 100% agree with you. If the environment is right and everything is right, the private investors are there for business. Yeah. And when the environment is right, the enabling environment for them for business, everyone wants to invest their money.
We've had reports so many times where you hear of the Dangote is wanting to buy Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Don't we have clubs here? Why is he interested in buying it?
Even when Arsenal is not
Exactly.
Exactly.
But because he knows that if he puts his money there, he's sure of a return. Yeah, there are many clubs here, Eibar, Kano Pillars, and the rest of them.
Yeah.
But none of them
He's
are
from Kano.
He's from Kano. Exactly. He doesn't say, let me even buy Kano Pillars. Exactly. So it is because of those who have put their house in order. So you don't even have to beg them.
Yes, Honorable Minister, you heard it from Afwa, and it's not just our criticism, it's about saying the right things.
No, absolutely.
You don't need to beg foreign investors.
Yeah.
You don't need to beg somebody to come and do business. The business investors are they looking for the right place to put their money. And if the naval environment is right, everything is right. We are talking about say private organizations don't invest in football, don't invest in football. They are aware of the money in business in football.
Of course.
But the environment is not mature, it's not right.
It's not.
And if it's not right, and if you look at it, you are calling on private example to come and own a club. Looking at let's have an example of the private individual who have tried to own a club in this country.
How have they fared? Yeah, exactly.
No. If I started about almost about 7 to 8 years ago, today it's fine.
Same for Giwa FC.
Giwa FC
well at the point.
So those they were frustrated out. Not
Exactly.
These people were putting their hard-earned money into this business, even where they are not making profit, they were still putting hard, but they were frustrated out of the business.
Exactly.
So the onus is on the government of Nigeria football, on the government of the government and the football regulators in the country to put the enabling environment in place. When the environment is right, private investors will be the one falling on themselves to invest in football.
Completely still on football now, where works have commenced on the regrassing of the main bowl pitch of the Kwara State Stadium complex in Ilorin. The regrassing will see the conversion of the pitch from the synthetic turf to natural grass. Chairman of Kwara State Sports Commission, Bola Mogaji, said the contract for the conversion of the synthetic turf to natural grass is being bankrolled by Barrister Akeem Mustafa. He also added that the package includes the maintenance of the grass for as long as the current government lasts in the state. He said it's a good development having a natural grass pitch. It's good for the state and country because of international matches. Recall that Kwara United, one of Nigeria's who have been, let me call it, dashed a slot to represent Nigeria at the Confederations Cup. And of course, one of the criteria to, partake in such a competition, you must have a standard pitch to host the matches. Exactly.
And that postulated, that's what they're trying to do, to have a befitting stadium that can get approval from CAF because there are CAF competition matches at the Kwara Sport Complex Stadium. A good one. But one plus about that that I'm not comfortable about is the maintenance of it is being taken care of by Akeem Mustafa. But there's a clause that as soon as current government last in office.
Yes.
And this current government, let's assume that in the election,
was guaranteed that he doesn't come back.
There's election next year.
Yeah, exactly.
And his current tenure expire by next year.
So what's the guarantee that
if I assume that if he lost the election, that means it's just this one. What we are saying is just a temporary measure.
Indirectly, that's what they're saying.
I think government is about continuity. And if you are going to a contract, the Kwara State Stadium belongs to Kwara.
Exactly.
And not to the governor. Not to the governor. It belongs to the government of Kwara State. And the government is about continuity. Whoever comes, PDP or whatever party that they might win the next election should be continuing. And if you are signing a contract, it should be a contract that is not about a contract. A contract should not be tied to a particular governor. These are some of the mistakes we make in this country. It should not be tied to a particular governor. And shouldn't be said that if this government is no longer there, I will not be put. I will not invest in it. It's about the government. It's about the Kwara people, and the stadium is owned by the Kwara people, not by the Abraman Brazak.
All right. On this point, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that break. Still onto Sports Orbit now to the UEFA Champions League, where today Napoli will be up against Liverpool in one of the Champions League matches. Today, the Blues reported on their official website that Nigeria's Victor Osimhen participated in full training with the rest of the Napoli squad in the final workouts at the Napoli Konami Training Center, paving the way for him to be named on the provisional roster for the visit of Liverpool in this encounter tonight. So the way it's looking, Osimhen will likely be in action tonight against Liverpool in their first match of the UCL.
I'll be delighted to see Osimhen against Musala.
Yeah.
Against Liverpool, and even most of Nigerian fans will want to see Osimhen playing against Liverpool, and hope that he'll be able to feature in that match. Because Napoli playing without Osimhen against Liverpool, it will be a very tough one for them, and we hope that Osimhen will be fit. Will be fit to feature in that particular match against Liverpool. It will be an interesting time. Even Osala, even Osimhen himself will not forgive himself if he's not fit to play that match against Liverpool.
Yeah. Right now to some EPL news, where of course news broke out this morning on the sacking of Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel early this morning, and in his place Brighton and Hove manager has been tipped as one of the candidates to who might likely succeed Tuchel at Stamford Bridge. Well, also other names who we've been seeing names like Pochettino, Zidane, and who else did I see on that list? Yeah, I think some of the names, but Potter is likely on top of the list, really, to leading the race for to take over the reins at Chelsea.
Yeah, he looks set, because if you look at the Brighton, and if you look at the Brighton this season, an average team, but if you look at their performance, you see that Potter is doing a lot of work in that team.
That he's doing a lot of work. I don't think this is the man who will take Chelsea forward.
Whether he has, he has what it takes to take Chelsea forward. It's another different team. But if you look at the Brighton where he's currently managed, be an average team, but you give it to him that he has made an impact in that team, and for Chelsea management to look up to him, maybe there's something that maybe see and you may not see it. Well,
for me, all I see will be a calamity.
No.
Of course. I mean, we all saw what happened with. It's just like Nuno Espirito Santo. He did a fantastic job with Wolves, and moved over to Tottenham, and in less than 2 months, he was fired from that job. So sometimes managing a small club, a club like Chelsea, whether you like it or not, you need a certain coach with some certain level of experience We all saw that even with a club like United, with Ole and the rest of them. You need a coach with a certain mentality to marshal these clubs. And this has proven over and over again in football. And that's the truth of the matter.
I agree with you to some extent. I agree with you to some extent in the sense that because even the calibers of the players who are playing,
exactly.
You need a coach who is always who be at least ahead of the players, who be able to look up to the player and talk to the player. Because when a coach to some certain level, the player look at the coach, well, who are you?
Sure,
it always matter and it affects and the coach you feel okay
some level of pedigree
because of the level of pedigree, because of your legal you have the courage to approach this particular player because of his status in society. So I agree with you. You need a coach who at that high level who can command the respect of the players. Well, that was quite.
Also, even Moyes at United after doing fantastically well, kept United. Exactly. Yeah, you could be a good coach, but sometimes it might be just a step too big for him at this point in his career sometimes.
But at the same time, there's also some coach you can also look at who come from nowhere and to some extent command respect. For instance, the big club. For instance, Pep Guardiola was not a coach anyway.
No, but he was in the system.
He was in the system.
He was coaching the Barcelona B-side. He was already a legend of the club, a former player.
But not a very star player as a legend of the club.
No, he was a star player. He was a big player.
For instance, in the case of
Zidane was also in the system.
Was he already in the system? And a very legend and a star player who has a name to
if you follow Guardiola at Barcelona, Guardiola was a legendary player for Barcelona in his playing days. Except that a lot of people might not have watched him, but he was legendary. And he already understood the structure at Barca, having come from the feeder team. Same for Zidane, who came from the feeder team, became assistant to Ancelotti. But for me, that's my opinion. And you can even see for Xavi also, being that he understands that Barca system, but someone who is a complete outsider, who is not even a top coach, coming into, we'll see how it works out.
But at the same time, if you look at the Chelsea also has a tradition, a history, who an African coach. For instance, Di Matteo from nowhere.
Di Matteo didn't do anything apart from winning the Champions League.
But he just the Champions League.
Fine, but when the league started, we also
even our ground was
sometimes in cup competitions, when you get it, a coach might just come and go on a run like that.
Who say?
No, but in a league,
even to share before he came, his record was not too fantastic.
No.
When he came from PSG, he had a problem with the PSG. Although he won
the title. Don't forget that he coached Dortmund, and he won 2 German titles.
But I know that he came to Chelsea was struggling, but he helped Chelsea stabilize. He said, "I won the Champions League."
Yeah, but still, but pedigree wise, you can't compare. For me, you can't compare Tuchel and
I agree with you. I'm not doubting. I'm not arguing that. But what is that? Sometimes it can happen. But what is that? I agree with you that the person of Potter, he may not be up there, looking at the calibers of the player for himself. Either he can have the courage to talk to them, or he have to command the respect from the players. And you need a command. To command and respect, to be able to command the player and to play the way you want the player to play. But when the players see themselves that they are far better than you, it will bring a lot of controversy to the club, and everybody will begin to play the way they like. You can notice that even currently, for instance, in the PSG, at the moment, the coach who is coaching the PSG may not be up to that high standard coach. Compared to the caliber of the player who is
high standard, but
under him.
No, but the coach had a big reputation in France, and he had a big reputation. I mean, let's see how it pans out.
And that is why the club has to agree that a certain people have to decide who to play.
No, that's the club decision, not the coach's decision. I mean, that was one of the conditions they had to give him
but it's not for me and you
exactly.
But what is that? It's left for the whole that Chelsea, whatever they have seen in the Potter, and it has not even been confirmed yet.
No, he's just one of the candidates. His name is being bandied about, but of course, Zidane is there, Pochettino is there, some other.
But if I may ask you, if you look at it to Shell, in the last almost 2 seasons, he's supposed to spend 2 years now in the Chelsea. If you look at his performance so far, although if you look at the market, the way he operated the market this year, you may not say it's not fantastic. But if you look at the performance, was Chelsea fair to him sacking him?
That's the point a lot of people are saying. I mean, for me, I think it was too hasty.
It was too
hasty. The season is just starting. the transfer just closed last week. Players are even yet to settle down. He's even yet to start even tinkering with his first 11. Aubameyang just came in. In fact, that was his first game. So how, and Aubameyang mainly came because of Tuchel.
Yes.
And now the man is no more. So how do you expect? So sacking coaches like this in the early offseason, especially when the transfer window ends and you brought in a few players and you fire a coach who brought you in, the next man who might come might say,
and he has a plan for bringing those players.
So the next coach who might come, you know how coaches work. The next coach might come and say, okay, these players do not fit into my style of play, and they start benching you. So it becomes a whole new crisis altogether. So for me, I think it was too hasty.
It was too hasty. It was too hasty. At least for a club that a coach that came in at where the club is in crisis. Yeah. Remember when Lapa was almost taking Chelsea down, but this guy came and
it was too hasty.
It was too hasty. Yes, you may say that this season,
even give him ultimatum, say, okay, maybe I give you the next 5 matches or 4 match ultimatum.
This season he has only lost for 3 matches.
Exactly, and we are just
even the Champions League, he started the Champions League losing the first match. Yeah. Give him an opportunity to even stay yet. But to be taking that the new owner of the club was too hasty, and I pray that this decision will not backfire.
Agreed. Let's go straight to some Champions League results that were played yesterday and fixtures for today. Of course, we saw Man City trash Sevilla 4-0 in that one. Haaland once again a double for Haaland. For PSG, it was PSG had 2 goals from Mbappe over Juventus in that one. And of course,
just mention Chelsea.
Yeah, of course, Chelsea losing down to Dynamo Zagreb. Yeah, exactly. No one saw that coming.
But for Haaland, well, Guardiola is very lucky. He knows what he was. He knew why he was insisting on getting Haaland. Yeah, and Haaland has turned to a machine goal. I'm yet to be seen who will be able to outshine that guy. This is both in Champions League and in the Premier League.
But of course, in the Champions League, he has Mbappe to contend with.
Yeah, he has not just only Mbappe. He has many players to contend with. But they just started first.
No, but even in his Champions League record for Haaland, he has a fantastic Champions League record. Even at Dortmund, yeah. Because last season he scored, I think, 23 goals in the Champions League. So in the Champions League, he has a fantastic record. Of course, Benfica 2-0 over Israeli side Maccabi Haifa. Then for Leipzig, they lost down to Shakhtar Donetsk. And for champions Real Madrid, seemed they continued from where they stopped 3-0 over Celtic. And for Salzburg, it was a 1-1 draw with AC Milan. Dortmund 3-0 winner over Copenhagen, while Dynamo Zagreb started on a bright note 1-0 over Chelsea in that one. Quickly, we'll look at fixtures for today before we call it a day on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Of course, Napoli will be up against Liverpool in that one.
And if you look at the yesterday match, for instance, the match against the Shakhtar Donetsk, I commended them despite the crisis they are facing, the war crisis that
exactly.
Still travel to the German side and beat the German side 4-1 away. That was a fantastic match. I expected this kind of wide goal margin from the Shakhtar, from the Ukrainian side to travel to Germany despite all the problems at their home to beat German side 4-1. And for Man City, playing away to Sevilla and score 4-0, fantastic result. And
of course, that even led to the Sevilla coach who was also sacked earlier this afternoon too. Yeah. So of course today Napoli will be up against Liverpool. That's the game most Nigerians will be interested in. Then Barcelona should have an easy one against Victoria Plzen. Inter against Bayern looks like the star match for today. Tottenham, Marseille in that one. Frankfurt will be up against Sporting Lisbon, while Ajax of Amsterdam will be up against Rangers. So for Calvin Bassey, he'll be coming against his former club in Rangers. Yeah, in that one.
Yeah, fantastic one. The biggest match of today is Inter Bayern. Yeah. And you say Barcelona will have an easy
should have an easy
Remember yesterday we said that at least no matter how Dynamo
but that was playing
will not be able to stand themselves.
But Barcelona will be playing at home, so they should have the home advantage.
It doesn't matter.
Football, it does. It does.
Football today is no home. Yes, home starts so it's second, but you
should be
having your fan behind you, but it's in some cities no longer home
But even if Baka are playing away, for a Victoria Plajam to defeat Baka even away, it will be an upset.
Yeah, just like Dynamo upset Chelsea yesterday. So football today, you can't completely say it's going this way.
All right, of course, Atletico Porto, that should be another interesting one.
It seems that
Tottenham, yeah, interesting matchups in all of that tonight. I mean, that's where we draw the curtain of today's episode of Sports Orbit. Tomorrow, we'll give you a review of all these matches, and of course, the Europa League also begins tomorrow. The Europa League and the Conference League also begins tomorrow. We'll be here to give you a complete preview of all those matches as they come. Salifu, thank you for being in the studio once again.
Thank you.
Right, until we come your way tomorrow again, stay safe out there. My name is Afa Acho, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.